And Prime Minister Modi has released a new video just now on Instagram where he has once again revealed the steps taken to combat paper leaks. A high-powered task force on examination reforms under the leadership of Nandan Nilekani has been constituted. Listen in to the Prime Minister's message.
विद्यार्थियों के भविष्य के लिए भारत सरकार लगातार अनेकविध कदम उठा रही है। जिन लोगों ने विद्यार्थियों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ किया वे जेलों में सड़ रहे हैं। हमने फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट बना चुके हैं। हम कल पार्लियामेंट के अंदर भी कठोर कानूनों के प्रावधान के साथ नया कानून बनाने की दिशा में भी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। लेकिन हमें भविष्य के लिए सोचना है। हमारी परीक्षा पद्धति विश्वस्त हो, हमारी परीक्षा पद्धति ट्रांसपेरेंट हो, हमारी परीक्षा पद्धति में सबसे ज्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग हो। इन सारी बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए विश्व प्रसिद्ध टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सपर्ट श्रीमान नंदन नीलेकनी जी के नेतृत्व में एक हाई पावर टास्क फोर्स बनाने का निर्णय किया है, जो एग्जामिनेशन रिफॉर्म की तरफ फोकस करेगा और जल्द से जल्द आने वाली परीक्षाओं की विश्वसनीयता को सुनिश्चित करने का काम इसके रिपोर्ट के आधार पर कर दिया जाएगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
My colleague Kritika joins us live on the broadcast with the details. And Kritika, at the height of the protests as well, the Prime Minister had addressed the students. This is the second video, and the Prime Minister has spoken about a task force, bigger reforms for the examinations in the country.
Well, absolutely. Remember, this is also coming in as a selfie video. We are able to see how, in fact, the Prime Minister is on a constant outreach to the youth, to the Gen Z, specifically to the young students as well. And he's chosen this mode to announce the constitution of a high-powered committee. Now, this is not coming in through sources. It is coming in directly through the Prime Minister on a medium that the youngsters are mostly on. And what the high-powered committee, there are two significant highlights of it. One is that it has been constituted under the leadership of Mr. Nandan Nilekani, who is the co-founder of Infosys. So far, it has been, of course, a big criticism of the examination reforms that exams such as NEET lack the capability. There is infrastructural, in fact, gaps in which they cannot be conducted on a computer, that this exam still happens in a pen and paper manner, wherein question papers are printed ahead of time. And that also causes a lot of, in fact, entry points when it comes to leaks and tampering as well as malpractices. So now we are seeing that a technological, in fact, a technocrat is also being onboarded as the to spearhead this high-powered committee. And this committee, in fact, of course, will be looking into how the examination process of India can be reformed in order to make it the most technologically advanced, transparent, as well as trustworthy with the students. Okay. Yes, Fatima.
Okay, all right. So examination reforms, that was one of the biggest demand of the protesters of the Gen Z, and the Prime Minister has now addressed that in his latest vertical video, selfie video, like you're saying. Let's take a look at his message.
फ्रेंड्स, विद्यार्थियों के भविष्य के लिए भारत सरकार लगातार अनेकविध कदम उठा रही है। जिन लोगों ने विद्यार्थियों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ किया वे जेलों में सड़ रहे हैं। हमने फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट बना चुके हैं। हम कल पार्लियामेंट के अंदर भी कठोर कानूनों के प्रावधान के साथ नया कानून बनाने की दिशा में भी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। लेकिन हमें भविष्य के लिए सोचना है। हमारी परीक्षा पद्धति विश्वस्त हो, हमारी परीक्षा पद्धति ट्रांसपेरेंट हो, हमारी परीक्षा पद्धति में सबसे ज्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग हो। इन सारी बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए विश्व प्रसिद्ध टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सपर्ट श्रीमान नंदन नीलेकनी जी के नेतृत्व में एक हाई पावर टास्क फोर्स बनाने का निर्णय किया है, जो एग्जामिनेशन रिफॉर्म की तरफ फोकस करेगा और जल्द से जल्द आने वाली परीक्षाओं की विश्वसनीयता को सुनिश्चित करने का काम इसके रिपोर्ट के आधार पर कर दिया जाएगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
So this was the message by the Prime Minister. He has spoken about a high-powered task force. He has spoken about reforms in the examination. My colleague Pragya is also joining us on the broadcast. And viewers, we want to hear from you as well. The numbers are at the bottom of your screens. Call us and tell us what you think. Let's take this across to Pragya as well, joining us. Pragya, this is the second video message by the Prime Minister, and it comes at a very crucial time. In the first one as well, the Prime Minister had spoken about reforms, and in the second video as well, he has spoken about making the education system and the examination system robust.
Absolutely, Pratibha. And in fact, if you remember, Times Now broke this story that the government is looking at a high-powered committee the mandate of which is, reform in the NEET examination system, because eventually that is what the students would need to ensure transparent system. Now, government is also focusing on having computer-based NEET examination from next time. So for that, it makes more sense, to have Nandan Nilekani, the tech expert who was also appointed, as a chairperson of UAIDI, at one point of time, had a successful career at Infosys as well, to head this particular special task force, which also would mean that technologically there is a support from the expert, and also the committee would have what we are given to understand would certainly will have expert academicians as well. So it's a step by the government, I would say, to ensure that the transparent system, technologically very sound system, and there should be no paper leak whatsoever. The laws have been made very stringent. It will be implemented in letter and spirit as well. Government has seen what it has done to the government as well. So they are not going to take any chances. And the concern of Prime Minister is students, and therefore, it's not just one announcement that the government has made. Government is working as a tool to ensure that there is a reform in the whole system, and there should be no paper leak in future as well.
Okay. All right, Pragya, thank you for joining us. And it's an important point that you raised as well of bringing Nandan Nilekani on board. He's a known technocrat. So the Prime Minister says that we are going to be bringing in a lot of changes. Viewers, we want to hear from you as well on what you think, because remember, over the last few days, youngsters have been protesting, the Gen Z has been protesting, and the Prime Minister has also responded to this call. We have guests joining us this evening as well, Dr. Simansi Raman, political analyst, and Ratan Sharda, author. Thank you. Good evening. Mr. Ratan Sharda, I'll begin with you. This is the latest outreach by the Prime Minister, and clearly there was a lot of anger from the youth of the country. There were people who were protesting, students who had been protesting. The government has now given a message that we are listening to you, and in just the way that the Prime Minister is messaging as well, the way he's addressing the students as well, is a clear message from the Prime Minister that we are listening to you and we are ready to speak your language, and we are also making big changes. We are bringing in the overhaul in the education system that you wanted.
Well, naturally, as a supporter of Modi ji, I am happy that he has taken this thing in his own hands. But it also points to the lack of initiative from the minister who was supposed to do it. And I think what Modi ji has done today should have been done by the minister himself at least 20 days back. So all done, well and done, but then to recover that ground will take a lot more effort from Modi ji. And that is my only, feeling. Otherwise, yes, we should reach directly. There should also be open feedback channels, which in BJP are a little choked today. So that is the reason it has come to their understanding so late. So there are just a couple of points I would like to make.
Before I come to you, Mr. Sumansi Raban, we're also inviting our viewers to join us on the broadcast. And since there has been so much focus on the Gen Z protests, Revanth Reddy, the Telangana Chief Minister, has also spoken about having representation of the youth in the parliament. We have Mr. S. Vishwanathan from Chennai. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Vishwanathan, what do you think? Mr. Vishwanathan, can you hear me? Okay, all right. We'll try and reconnect that line. Mr. Shiv Prakash joining us from Mysuru. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Mr. Shiv Prakash, what do you have to say?
Good evening to all the viewers and each one of you. My thing is, it is good to give an exposure younger by 21, but not make them full-time regular MPs. So there can be a situation where some program is made that people can come in that and get some exposure and then move on into regular politics and become MPs. I think that would be a great idea. Instead of making people eligible to contest at 25, there may be some kind of an intern or whatever, something similar to it. People can think of and find a way to involve youngsters early, rather than right away making them a member of parliament and move.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us. We have Pinel joining us from Mumbai. Thank you for joining us. What do you think? Bigger representation for Gen Z in the parliament as well?
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
That is not Pillai, that is Pinakin.
Okay, go on. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. See, regarding decreasing the age of the MPs, it is not fair enough. As it is, we are seeing that MPs are becoming more and more corrupt. Instead of that, people becoming corrupt at the age of 25, you are making them corrupt at the age of 21. The maturity at 25 is much better than at 21. So 21 is always objectionable, rather, I would put it as.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us. We have Ravi joining us from Bengaluru. Mr. Ravi, what do you think?
Good evening. This is Ravi from Bangalore. My point is, I would definitely welcome if people are participating in active politics at 21 years of age. But what about the other parameters? Say there are 4 other parameters. Say, for example, what is the maximum limit of the age to exit from the politics? Like, what is the retirement age? We'll have to talk the other end of the age as well. And what about their performance? Second thing. If their performance, I mean, all the government employees have got annual appraisals and performance. How are these MPs rated on their performance? Third thing is the attendance. What about the attendance? If I'm working as a government employee, if I'm no-show, if I'm not going to the office without any communication for, say, 5 days or 6 days, there's an action on me. But what about MPs? And what about MLAs, similarly in the state? They do not...
accountability of the MPs, their attendance, the work that they have done as well. Thank you for joining us. We have Elani joining us from Thane, and India boasts the largest youth population in the world. So should there be representation from the youth in the parliament? What do you think?
I think generally, suddenly the Gen Z has become the vote bank for every party. I'm just asking, which political party has given the tickets to person at the age of 25? No one is giving tickets. So what is the use of making it to 21? Still, you look around all political parties across, people 70, 80, 90 are still stuck up with the seat. So this is just a vote bank politics. This proposal is just a vote bank politics. First, you start giving tickets to people of 25 years of age. Let us see which party is giving. Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us with your thoughts. We have other viewers joining us as well, but I quickly want to bring in Mr. Sumansi Raman as well. India has about 65% of the population below the age of 35. So majority of people in the country are the youth. And should there be bigger representation? Parliament is where the laws of the country are made. What do you think?
I think that it's certainly something that is worth considering. I think the time has come. The youth today are exposed to a lot more information. They are a lot more aware than our generation was when we were that age. So I think that definitely there's no harm. I mean, you must remember at one point of time, voting age was 21 in India. That was brought down to 18. So like that, we have to evolve. We have to change with the times. I think Revanth Reddy has made a very valid point. And, he's apparently traveling to Delhi to sort of push for the Congress to include it in the discussions which may come up for the delimitation bill and the women's reservation and all of that. And he wants to sort of push it through there. Now, whether that will happen, we don't know. But I think it's certainly worth considering, simply because, people... You saw this protest. In fact, I would say it was far better organized than most other protests, or even, protests or events organized by people twice that age. So I don't see anything that was particularly immature in the manner that they responded. So I think we should start hearing their voice. They are the future, and they are the demographic which constitutes a sizable part of this country. So I think we should definitely give it a shot.
Okay, Mr. Ratan Sharda, at the age of 21, you can vote, you can drive, you can drink. Then what is the harm? Should we have 21-year-olds in the parliament, or at least bring down the age for contesting the elections? Ultimately, of course, it's the people who are going to decide. So should the conversation start on lowering the age for the parliamentarians?
See, I am one of the people who was in the youth leader. I worked during my young years in the college. I was leader in the college. But today, unfortunately, most of the states have outlawed college elections, campus elections. So the ground where they actually get leadership quality is not there. Dipke himself is 30-year-old, by the way. He's not 21-year-old, and he's leading the process. Problem is that if you are not mature as a leadership, you cannot control. So in Delhi, what did we see? We saw that every kind of negative forces were on the stage. They made all kind of propaganda, which was not actually basically how this entire vegetation was made. So if they can hijack a stage set by a 30-year-old leader, I doubt whether the leader of 21-year can do it. I will give some sobering thought. Only 38% of registered people of 18 to 21 years old actually registered for voting. Do you know that in Bihar, the largest population of youth, only 17% registered for voting? In Delhi, 21%, UP 21%, Maharashtra 27%, Kerala 38%, West Bengal 48%. So if our youth is not even ready to get registered as a voter, are we saying that we should open the door for the leadership? Yes, start with the local leadership, start with municipality, start with your own party, where they don't get a ticket, as somebody very rightly pointed out. And then we can talk of looking at how they proceed in that particular case, how they take up the leadership, because these lower end local bodies are the biggest place of learning, where you directly deal with the people. You put them in the Lok Sabha and they can't even speak, they can't even talk. So they should be there. But first, let us test that metal at the local body level, at municipal level, then increase the age as we see. But to say that very fashionable, or Gen Z should get a chance, look at the maturity of the kind of protests that are taking place. So I'm all for leadership, but as I said, I agree through leadership. Do any of this political party allow leaders to rise?
Okay.
So rather than trying to change the law, please change your mentality.
Okay, all right. So maybe, could it be that some of this disenchantment is also because many people feel that the politics of today does not reflect what the youth want? Let me bring in some of our viewers as well. Mr. Venkat joining us from Bengaluru. Thank you for joining us. What are your thoughts? Okay, all right. We don't have him on the line with us. Let's go across to Sriram joining us from Mumbai.
Yeah, so what I feel is, and I agree, in fact, I agree with Mr. Ratan Sharda.
Okay.
And, hello?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, so basically I agree with Ratan Sharda on the maturity angle.
Okay.
Because a 21-year-old sitting in the parliament representing and passing laws is something which I don't agree, and I think that.
Okay. So you're saying that they lack maturity, and like Mr. Ratan Sharda was pointing out, that you can contest in the other elections once you have the electoral maturity, then there's always space in the parliament, no harm in that. And it's not necessary that one has to be a certain age to understand the youth. They can still voice their opinions. A lot of other viewers are also joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, so we will not be able to continue that conversation. I'm thanking our guests as well for joining us in this debate. A lot of questions and a possibility. Is that going to happen or not? The Telangana Chief Minister has definitely sparked off a very interesting conversation amid this entire Gen Z protest. But we leave it there. Thank you for joining us.